All right, everybody, we are back, and it has been a while. I'm going to go ahead and unmute the rest of the guys here. Just give me 1 second to get that done. How are you guys doing? We got Tabmac99 with us and Z80 Artist joining us as well. So exciting stuff.
Hey, what is going on, guys?
Hey, what's up?
So we've got a lot of really neat stuff to talk about, and I'm not sure how you want to start with this, Tabmac99. So I will let you go ahead and be my guest of starting the conversation here, because we've got like 3 weeks of news. A lot of stuff happened when we were offline the last 2 weeks. We did not stream, but we are back. We have a lot of news to cover now. And just so much has happened. So much that's real, so much that's not.
But the Mortal Kombat community, I think, when we last left off, we were talking about like the new Mortal Kombat X trading card game coming out. We were talking about NetherRealm's soccer ball contest. So that was, exciting stuff. But look at what's going on now. Ed Boon is becoming more active on Twitter than he has in a long time. He's tweeting about a lot of Mortal Kombat stuff. He's tweeting about other things too, like his favorite Oreos being red velvet. But he's back at it with the Mortal Kombat. He's got a new avatar. If you remember, the old one was like the Mortal Kombat dragon logo with gray, and it said 25, symbolizing the 25-year anniversary.
Right.
That has passed, and now he's updated it to Scorpion and Batman, symbolizing the two major franchises that he's working on, Mortal Kombat and Injustice. Those two separate but equal franchises.
Right. And it's not MK versus DC2, guys. It's not. Let's just get that out of the way. It's not MK DC2.
And I'm glad you said that, because if you look at his pinned tweet, he made this his pinned tweet. Mortal Kombat Online has stayed away from the fake news and the rumors, and we don't like reporting on this stuff. But lately, it's been getting so out of hand that we've had no choice but to address it. Right. So we've had to be like, look, this is what they're saying about the MK3 movie. This is the producer shutting it down and saying, look, there might be a tiny nugget of truth in some of that, but that is way old, and that is not something that we were ever going to go with. So that is not happening. That is off the table. And when Ed Boon changed his Twitter avatar to Scorpion and Batman, that sparked a lot of rumors that it was MK versus DC2. So look at Ed Boon's pinned tweet. He says, the new Mortal Kombat movie rumors, inaccurate. Our next game is not MK versus DC2. He's letting you know in no uncertain terms. He's setting the record straight. And we at MK Online are doing the same thing. We're setting the record straight and letting people know this is not happening. And in fact, Ed Boon gave us a shout out. Ed Boon said MK Online has been doing this for a long time now. #respect. So I thought that was really cool for Ed Boon to acknowledge Mortal Kombat Online.
Way cool. Totally cool. I mean, yeah. That's what we live for, right? Is to cover Ed's games, the studio's games. Those guys are all great, and I have friends that work there that mean the world to me as people. And so getting that kind of notice is really awesome.
When getting noticed by Senpai makes it all worthwhile.
Yes, it does.
And by the way, there was something you noticed about Batman.
Yes, okay.
Now, I haven't had a chance to confirm this yet, but people were saying that's the Ben Affleck Batman, and you didn't think so. You disagree, right?
No, I disagree. It does look familiar, though, and a lot of people will probably think it looks familiar, but if you notice, that is not the Injustice Batman. That is not Injustice or Injustice 2. I am convinced that is the Rocksteady Batman. So I would like to see if maybe Anthony MK Book can maybe go into the Arkham City renders on the Rocksteady games and compare that render to the model and see if that is in fact the model, because I swear to God that's Rocksteady's Batman. Which is interesting because there have been people taking guesses, and it was even brought up in the Giant Bomb interview where they were like, wouldn't it be cool if you and Rocksteady teamed up and did something? Ed retweets Rocksteady's no-show at E3, right? Their no-show press release.
And he tells them we know what it's like to have stuff leaked. And then he did that one tweet where it's like waiting for NetherRealm or Rocksteady games feels like, like the skeleton in the chair. So it's really interesting. There seems to be some sort of a connection going on.
And those two studios have phenomenally good relationship. So could they team up and make something? Who knows? I have a theory. I'm a strong believer that that's the case, just based on what I've heard, what I've seen, and stuff like everybody else. But to me, it kind of makes sense, right? Like, both of them didn't show anything at E3. Ed's retweeting what they're tweeting about, right? And he doesn't have to do that, but he's doing it. And then, boom, we get, in my honest opinion, and I'd like somebody to please confirm or deny it, because if it's wrong, call me out on my BS. But I really think that's the Rocksteady render of Batman. And if it is, maybe we're on to something.
You know, it would have just taken me 5 seconds to like crop that picture and do a Google image search. Didn't think of it in time, and now that's all I can think about, and I have to wait till after the stream to do it. Unless, you know, somebody in the audience, maybe one of you guys.
Right. But it's an interesting...
that Batman in the banner in the background, you know, somebody could do an image search on it and figure out if they can find that specific Batman picture and tie it to something.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. And see, maybe it is the Injustice Batman, and I'm just losing my mind in my old age. But
yeah, you're getting to be an old man. The memory first to go.
I mean, you would know. You're older than me, but yeah. I mean, who knows? It just to me,
I'm sorry. What's that, Sonny boy? I can't hear you. Hearing aids not doing so well.
I think that I think that's the Rocksteady Batman. I think, but we'll see. We'll leave it up to the viewers to go and do a little homework on that, and we'll give a shout out to whoever can figure that out. So if you can figure it out and post picture evidence to back it up that is or is not the Rocksteady render of Batman, please do that. We'll give you a huge shout out for sure.
Yeah, I think it's, you know what? Let's have a little contest. Whoever does it first wins.
There you go.
Moving on. Huge announcement. John Norbert, it's tremendous. Believe me. You want to pull up the image and get people ready for this one?
The next image on the slide. Here we go.
Next picture in the queue. Kombat Con, guys. Kombat Con 2018 has been announced. It is October 27th. Let me tell you something. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Some people think that's Christmas. I say it's Kombat Con. I was telling some of the MP Online guys in the staff meeting one day, I look forward to Kombat Con even more than E3. And let me tell you something. I stand by that. Especially this year. That really turned out to be true. But Kombat Con is just one of those magical things. I see some people in the chat who've been there. Jasper, I know you were there last year. I don't think you can make it again this year. I see Lone Wolf. I think I saw him saying he's planning on going this year if he can make it, so I'm hoping that'll work out.
Actually, I think he bought his tickets.
I don't know. I don't think the tickets are on sale yet, man.
Maybe not.
I think we might be getting a little bit ahead of ourselves,
Yeah.
but as soon as they are, you'll probably want to buy those VIP passes. I mean, the after parties with all the guys are so much fun. You've got Anthony Marquez, who portrayed Kung Lao in the games, always doing the karaoke. So there's singing, there's man, just so much fun to hang out with the guys and talk to them about Mortal Kombat and even stuff that's not Mortal Kombat, like real life stuff.
Yeah.
But also Mortal Kombat.
Of course.
No, and I mean, seriously, there's tons of stuff. Like that guy, he's such a good singer. He's actually got his own album out, you know, Believe. And I think you might have a copy of that. Is that right?
I do. It's actually sitting in my treasure case of cool Mortal Kombat stuff.
Yeah, and it's on Spotify too. So if you look for Spotify and you look for Anthony Marquez, what's his band called? Kung Lao and the Scorpions. So it's so cool to see him in real life though at Kombat Con. I'm hyped. As soon as these tickets are on sale, you know, MortalKombatOnline.com will break that news as well. But it's been announced. If you go to KombatCon.com, you'll see basically what we're showing you right now. This is a screenshot of the site as it was earlier today, and I'm sure it's still exactly the same right now. So that's going to be cool. And I see people in the chat saying they're going to go. So
yeah,
awesome stuff.
Yeah, that's big news.
What else can we say? The NetherRealm Studios, if you want to cue up the image for this one too, the NetherRealm Studios contest that they had for the soccer ball has been closed. That was something they were doing to promote the Combat Cup, where they released skins for like Combat Cup, Johnny Cage, and Sonya Blade. So one winner is getting a soccer ball signed by Ed Boon. We don't know who the winner is.
Not yet.
That has not been announced. So we will see what happens there. Okay. A user named Scotters83 has he's identified the Batman. It is Ben Affleck. So thank you very much, Scotters83, whoever you are.
There you go. I think we know who Scotters. We think we know who Scotters is. I think he's the guy who's kind of responsible, not just for this entire stream, but I think the whole 25-year history of what we're doing.
Yeah, I know. Gotta give you a shout out to Scott now. Thank you, Scott, for looking into that for us. So awesome stuff. I think Scott's going to be there at Kombat Con, and Shinox, I think you just need to cancel all your other plans and get out over this thing. So
yeah,
awesome. All right, so what is the next order of business? I think I want you to break the next story. This next story is sort of yours to share, isn't it, Fatal Cage?
Yeah. So this looks really familiar, doesn't it?
Wait. Let me interrupt you. I'm so sorry. Going back to Kombat Con, we are doing something the night before, Mortal Kombat Online.
Yes.
We are doing something the night before. We're having like a meet and greet. So anybody who's out there in the audience who wants to hang out with you and me and Scott and the other Scott and Joey and anybody else who might be able to make it, we're going to be hanging out at a cool place Friday night. Probably an arcade, maybe a Dave and Buster's type place. So we'll have more details as we kind of like figure out how many people are interested and what kind of space we need to work with. But I am so excited to have a chance to have a meet and greet. So anybody who can make it out to Kombat Con and the day before Kombat Con can hang out with us on Friday.
There you go. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be a ton of fun, especially if we can get Dave and Buster's. That would be a fun spot. But that's all kind of still in the works and all that. But yeah, there is going to be an MKO meet and greet. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's going to be great to meet all the users who have been there for years and years and years.
Yeah, I mean, look, our site, our users have usually seen us on video from events like E3 or San Diego Comic-Con or Wizard World or GameStars Live or any of the other numbers of events that MK Online has covered in its 20-year history. But now with things like Kombat Con, it's open to everybody. We can all meet out, hang out at one place. That's going to be awesome.
That is going to be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so I want to see what I see a picture of a subway station. Take it away, Ryan. Tell us, what is this?
Okay, so I stumbled upon this by complete accident. It's a fun story. I don't know if I should go into the whole story of how I stumbled on it. But I found out that this was actually in the very parking garage in Chicago that I've been parking at for the last year. And I totally stumbled on it by accident. And when I saw there was a subway station, because we were looking for one, and I know that Luke had taken some pictures of some, but they were nowhere really near what this is. And as soon as I went down there, it felt like I was instantly transported into Mortal Kombat 3 subway stage, and I was like, oh, this is the elusive place that we were trying to find that we couldn't find, and it was right under my nose the entire time. But I found it, and this is, in fact, the subway station that the subway stage in Mortal Kombat 3 is based off of. And I even managed to snag a video, if I can find that here, if you want me to go ahead and play that.
Yeah, I would love that.
All right, so I'll go ahead and mute my mic and show you guys the full video of this pretty fun discovery. Hey, what's going on, MortalKombatOnline.com? It is Fatal Kate. I'm reporting to you here from a very famous and very popular level in Mortal Kombat 3 and Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 that we were not able to find when we did our Mortal Kombat tour. However, I ended up discovering it right in my own backyard in my parking garage. So if you haven't already figured it out, we are here at the subway stage for Mortal Kombat 3. This is the exact spot. I got confirmation from a couple people that yes, this is indeed the location. It is pretty awesome. You can see the tracks behind me there. You can see the lighting. It all matches. It's all absolutely off the chain. So let's take another look here. I'm going to do a little 360 here, and you can see behind me as well So I think this might have even been the same stage that the stage in Mortal Kombat 9 was based off of. It looks awfully similar, right? So we're looking at it, and of course in the stage there's some benches and stuff. That could have been digitized, or maybe once upon a time in the 90s they did have benches down here, but they are non-existent here. But you see the lighting, everything looks very, very similar. Of course, you've got the train tracks below there that look awfully familiar. So you can definitely see that this is definitely where inspiration was taken from. And it is really cool. So chalk this up to another thing that we could maybe eventually edit into Luke's Total MK's Mortal Kombat Chicago tour. But here it is, the lovely subway station in its entirety. Pretty cool stuff. So I was excited when I found it, and I wanted to shoot a proper video showcasing it because it is absolutely cool. So there it is, the subway station. And that train, I think, is just waiting for somebody to land there for a stage fatality. That subway station was just a lot of fun. It was absolutely off the charts cool. You know, when you see stuff like that, it's just so mesmerizing, right? Because you're stepping into literally like Mortal Kombat when you go down there. That's what it feels like. It was just so cool.
Now, I gotta say, when I saw the pictures, I was thinking Mortal Kombat 3. And then when you showed the video and you went around it in 3D and you showed like a staircase behind you,
yeah.
I'm thinking Mortal Kombat 9. You know that scene where Stryker's down there and he looks up and it's like Nightwolf and they're figuring out they're on the same side. It's like, dude,
yeah.
That whole way it's been set up, even back then and now.
Yeah.
This is definitely what they've got in mind. And you mentioned in the video that you've got confirmation from John Vogel. Can you pull that up for us? Can you show us the proof of that?
I believe you've got that in here, so let's see here. There's a few more images as well that are locked up in here. There's another shot of the train tracks and the train. And of course, I don't know if you had put it in there. Let me.
Oh, it's there. It's coming.
Is it just kind of around here, or there it is? No. So yeah, there it is. Yeah, there's John Vogel. It was definitely based on the Chicago subway. Boom. There's your evidence. Had to search for it there, but we got it.
Oh my God, you showed everybody all the images that we have coming up.
That's all coming up. Disregard. Disregard.
Pretend you didn't see that. That didn't happen. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
That's what I was actually thinking.
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of the man behind the curtain, let's introduce our special guest.
Yes, of course. Z80.
Let's say what this is about. Z80 artist, guys. If you've been paying attention to the life bars on the side, you'll see Z80 artist and see his thumbnail for him. It's the Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 logo on the Game Boy cartridge. Let me tell you, this guy has done an 8-bit demake of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Game Boy platform, and I just think that's the most amazing thing ever. And not only does it look good, it looks probably better than the official Game Boy ports. It plays really well. It doesn't feel like one of those 8-bit pirate cartridges for the NES or the Famicom where the engine is just way off. It doesn't feel like the official ports of MK1 on Game Boy or MK Advance, that god-awful port. This really feels solid. It's got that Mortal Kombat arcade feel to it. It translates very well, surprisingly well, to a system like the Game Boy. So without further ado, Z80 artist, welcome to the chat. Thank you for being here.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going.
Awesome. I guess we want to talk a little bit about this and then show some gameplay later on.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I guess I don't know where to start, but Game Boy Advance, Mortal Kombat Advance, we can't help but make the comparison because The MK team really did officially release Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on the Game Boy system. They just didn't call it Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. They gave it a different name. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Mortal Kombat Advance. But I think Ed Boon has basically disowned that port.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. And then Ryan, there's an image there. It's right after I don't know. There's an image there right after I guess John Vogel. Well, no, like 2 before John Vogel, and it's a comparison of MK Advance versus Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3.
There it is.
And yes, thank you. And you didn't just do this on Game Boy Advance, even though that would have been more powerful. You did it for Game Boy Color. So what made you choose that system?
Well, I grew up with the 8-bit games, the original Nintendo, and I always thought it'd be interesting to see how a fighting game could work on an 8-bit platform. Also, I realized that we never really saw the full potential of what those platforms are capable of, like the original Nintendo and Game Boy Color. Because like when Mortal Kombat 4 came out on Game Boy Color, that's one of the first games on Game Boy to feature in-game voice samples, so during the actual gameplay. So I always thought it'd be interesting to see like how good could a project be if it included every single like cool feature possible, like what's the highest quality of voice samples you could possibly play on that system. So the Game Boy is, to me, an interesting piece of hardware because it's like as minimalistic as you can get while still being sophisticated enough where you can actually make a game that runs similar to Ultimate MK3 in terms of the gameplay and the speed and the graphics. But if you go like a generation of systems earlier, like the Atari 2600, you can't really do like a fighting game on that platform. So to me, it's fascinating seeing how what is the essence of Ultimate MK3, like how it's just, to me, it's interesting, like just seeing that minimalism combined with the sophistication, complexity. It's an interesting platform to me.
You know, I can't say I disagree. We've got some interesting comments here in the chat. Shinox is saying that MK Advance was the only game to ever score a 0.0 in EGM. And I believe Fatalcade has that review ready. We've got the review here. In fact, I think you've seen it too, Z80 artist. This EGM review giving 0.0 to Mortal Kombat Advance. And I think that's the first and only time they've ever done it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I've heard.
So
yeah, part of the novelty of this project is seeing could it be done better than a platform that's two generations more powerful? Because the Game Boy Advance was a 32-bit system, whereas the Game Boy Color is 8-bit system. Furthermore, this project actually does not use the double speed mode, so the Game Boy Color is capable of having more power than the original Game Boy because it has not just a double speed processor mode, but it also has an ability to transfer in graphics more quickly than the original Game Boy. So part of the novelty and the challenge of this project is just seeing how much I can pack in there, seeing how far I can take the hardware.
Oh, yeah. Now, let me ask you a technical question. If you take advantage of that double speed and the extra power that the Game Boy Color can do over the original Game Boy, that messes up your compatibility. Am I right?
Well, that could potentially be like a link cable issue, so that's partially why I don't want to use it. Also, by not using it, it saves battery life, so there is like a practical advantage of it. When I developed the engine, it was originally going to be for just the black and white system, so that's partially why I'm not using it.
And part of your goal here is to make this as compatible as possible. You want this to be able to run in any Game Boy environment, right?
Oh, that's correct. It runs the same on all systems. And also, I'm trying to maximize it for all the platforms. So like on the Super Game Boy, it has the 2-player mode if you have a second controller. It has the Super Game Boy special border. The
Nice.
Game Boy Color, I'm going to try to make it even more colorful. The latest ROM builds, actually, people asked me if I could colorize the select screen more. And so the portraits on the tower and on the select screen, they have some color now. So that's one of the things I've been working on, is also just like listening to feedback. So it's interesting, hearing people's suggestions for what things they want to see, like what kind of features, and just knowing that people care about those details, like the extra color, it makes it easier for me to
Right. I imagine that the way it loads palettes, you have to do some very tricky moves, I guess.
Well, like
better.
There's a limited number of palettes, for example, and if you like load up Mortal Kombat 4 on Game Boy Color, it's very simplistic, like on the select screen, the way the characters are colorized. It's very like monochromatic. It's like one character's all blue, one character's all red. So it's not as sophisticated as it could have been. So like that's part of the thing I'm aiming for, is like just seeing like how much sophistication, like what's the highest level that we could really take this hardware. Like if it's Ultimate MK3, it should be like Ultimate, right? Like hopefully this project, one of the goals for this project is that I wanted to just kind of like stand as an example of like the fullest capabilities of the hardware, like showcasing like the audio playback, the voice samples. Like hopefully it showcases like the maximum potential of the hardware.
So let me commend you for, first of all, because I see that one of the things you're doing is making this run on actual hardware. This is not just something that'll work on as a ROM on an emulator. This will really run on an original Game Boy cartridge in a Game Boy system. And Fatalcade, if I could ask you to find the photo, there's a Game Boy Color here actually running the game, and you can see a screenshot of it.
Let's see if I can find it.
I think you could.
There it is.
I know there's a lot of stuff, but yeah, you got it.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, I saw the review. I'm just seeing everything now.
Yeah, so that was something a fan actually shared with me. So that was interesting. That's a modded Game Boy with the backlight.
Oh yeah, that is a modded one. You're right. Look at the red buttons. I think the real one had pink, right?
Oh, the Game Boy Color I think it was like dark gray black buttons.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Well, listen, I want to help you and verify it that it can run in more environments. So I've got one of these things. This is a Wide Boy 64. This will allow you to run Game Boy Color or Game Boy Advance games on a Nintendo 64. So I am definitely, as soon as I'm able to get a working flash card or whatever, an actual cartridge of the game, I'll run it through here and I'll test it out and let you know how it runs. And tomorrow, I'm going to run it on one of these. This is a Smart Boy. This allows you to run Game Boy games on your smartphone. So I'm going to test out the game in both of these environments. I'll let you know how it runs in otherwise pretty obscure places. But if you want this to run in as many places as possible, we can do that. All right, so let me ask you this. I wanted to share some Mortal Kombat Advanced trivia with you. I played through that game recently. I was trying to unlock all the hidden characters, and I did, and it really wasn't worth it. The AI in that game is just so buggy. But I wanted to share something with you. Fatalcade.
Yeah.
Can you look at the pictures of the Retron 5?
Yeah.
See, the Retron 5 is this console by Hyperkin that runs Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 8-bit Famicom, Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, and Game Boy Advance games. It can do all those things.
I have one.
So
is this actually a picture of my Retron 5? Or is this yours?
No, that's mine. That's mine.
We both had great minds think alike.
We have the exact same one. Yes. Well, but do you have MK Advance?
I used to. I'll admit I bought it. I think we all bought it.
Well, listen, if you look at the next picture, the one right after this one in the lineup, This is what a Retron 5 does when you load up MK Advance.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious, as a heart attack. It comes up with that big frowny face, and it says, "You recommend another game."
Does Ed Boon, does anybody in the studio know this exists? Because they'll die. This is so great.
He already disowned the game, so I don't think he'll feel too
even
insulted.
the Retron disowns the game.
How many times have you heard of a video game console cautioning you against a specific title? How often does this happen?
That's so perfect.
I know.
I never knew about this.
the next generation of PlayStations, they're going to have to do the same thing with Mortal Kombat Special Forces. I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just waiting on new PlayStations to be made to do the same thing with Special Forces. Oh.
Someone was asking if Hyperkin got in trouble for doing the Retron systems, and honestly, I don't know. But Fatal Kate, there's a place near you. I don't remember the name of that place, but when I was there, they were selling all kinds of Hyperkin products as add-ons for the Retron 5 to make it to add new compatibility to it. You can run like TurboGrafx 16 games on it and all kinds of silly.
Yeah, it was the spot that's next to the disc replay. I forget the name of it too because I haven't been there in a minute. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. They had a ton of pop figures too, which Nashman loved that. I took him there.
Everybody wants to go pop figures, yeah. But I'm more concerned with the extra playability. But man, back to Z80 Artist, back to this project. I want to talk more about this because the gameplay is good and the graphics are good. Now, there's a picture in here that shows us more of what you did with the sprite work. So, Fatal Kate, I'll let you look for that one, but there's a title to it, and it says something like format conversion, and you'll see like 4 different. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so can you tell us a little bit about this? Because it looks like you added a cartoon outline around the sprites. I gotta say, they look perfect, especially in gameplay, even more so than right here. What was your secret? What was your technique here?
Well, I experimented with different conversion methods with Photoshop. So I'm reducing the color palette, obviously, but there's actually different ways of it, like calculating different conversion methods. There's like adaptive color, perceptive color, selective. So anyway, just experimenting with different options, and then also trying it on different backgrounds, like a green screen or red screen. The stroke is actually, there's 3 options. So the outline is called a stroke in Photoshop. There's a outer stroke, inner stroke, and a center stroke. So actually, I'm using 2 center strokes on 2 different layers because normally it's not thick enough. But anyway, you basically have to have an outline for it to be visible on the actual system. So, but one of the goals is I want it to stay as like digitized and realistic as possible. I don't want it to look too cartoony. So that's a hard balance to reach, because when you're dealing with limited colors, it's almost like impossible to not make it look cartoony. So I'm actually in the process of revamping some of the graphics. Cabal, though, is going to stay pretty similar. I think the only thing is the shading on his arms might change a little bit. But that sprite's pretty sophisticated because, as you can see, those rectangles, each sprite is one rectangle, so characters are actually a combination of multiple sprites, and the sprites have different palettes. So Cabal, for example, is 2 different palette sets. So like his legs with his pants, that's a different palette than his vest area. So trying to arrange the tiles in a way that they aren't overlapping too much is difficult because there's a sprite limit each line. So if there's 10 sprites per line, then that's the limit. It can't go over that. So one of the goals is to try to minimize the flickering as much as possible so the characters stay solid. So like if you look at how the sprites are horizontally aligned, like on Cabal's kick, like his foot up in the air, I try to arrange the sprites how they're kind of stacked upwards so that there's fewer like in the center area. I don't know if that makes sense, but
no,
yeah.
I follow you. No,
but that's one of the things that makes this project take time is trying to arrange things like that, because it's like a puzzle and I have to rearrange them. So I actually have, I think, a solution for trying to get this project in a playable state so people can start testing it, is that I'm just going to implement some temporary graphics with the intention of later revamping them. So rather than being perfectionistic now, I'm just going to get something in a playable state and then polish it up visually later, because I don't need finalized graphics to finalize the engine, but I do need at least some placeholder graphics so people can test it. But when we go to ROM,
I was so impressed with the graphic as they are now. I just can't imagine you going back and fine-tuning it even more than it is. I just think they look amazing. I think they look better than the official Game Boy ports. In fact, one of our users just gave you a huge compliment. He says that you sound way too talented to be spending your time doing Mortal Kombat games on the Game Boy. He thinks you should be doing something a little more professional.
Well, Tabmock has seen my next project, so if you stay tuned, you might see actually what else I'm working on. So this project actually has led me to something else, something that's potentially even more special, something that people have never seen on an 8-bit platform. So.
Yeah, well, I am very excited, and we're going to reveal that more towards the end of the live stream. Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to cover with you here.
But yeah, I don't plan on doing any more like fighting game ports or anything. Like I was always curious, like what goes into making a fighting game engine. Like when Ed Boon created the first Mortal Kombat, obviously he didn't. That was his first fighting game, so that was one of the things that always fascinated me. Like, what is the creative process? Like, what are all those details that go into making such a project? So that was a cool thing to me about building this engine. Was like, it was almost like a way of me stepping into, in a way, like Ed Boon's shoes, like trying to figure out what his thought process was. Because even something as simple as like Scorpion Spear, Back Punch, there's different variations of how those inputs are recorded. So there's like all these little details and nuances that like I didn't know about until I started a project like this.
Well, and you went way above and beyond here because you're doing the graphics, you're doing the engine, you're coding it so that it feels right. You're kind of like you're kind of doing this all by yourself. You don't have a partner or anything, right?
Right. Well, that's really, I think, one of the only ways that made this possible. The thing that kind of got me started was I actually realized, like, oh, I know Photoshop now, and like that's really the key for making the graphics. Because if I was going to do this all by hand, it would take forever.
Right.
And I also play music, so I have an understanding of like how to compose, and so like making the music for this project. Like if I did not have a familiarity with music theory, that would make it obviously very difficult. And I used Tabmock's site, because he has MIDI files for the songs, and so I use those to help study and figure out how can I like convert these things into only 4 sound channels, which is very difficult. It's like 4 instruments, and the Mortal Kombat music is very sophisticated. It's very atmospheric. It's very dense. There's a lot of instruments. So yeah, his site helped me do that. So it's kind of like the stars align. Oh, also that Mortal Kombat Warehouse website. So if that resource wasn't available, this project would not be possible, because that site has the voice samples, it has the graphics. So, I mean, you could say I am doing this on my own, but it's also with the resources of other people, like their websites and people that build emulators and have documented the hardware. But yeah, I mean,
I'm glad you brought all that up, because I'm very proud of the Combat Pavilion, and I'm very proud that it's an MK Online network site right there along with MK Warehouse. And of course, your site, Portable Mortal Kombat, which covers all the portable Mortal Kombat games. So before you started this project on your own, you were kind of covering it. And you kind of made the one website that covers all the different handheld MK games. Can you tell us a little bit about how that started and about how you became affiliated with MK Online?
It's kind of a long story, but when I was a teenager, when I was growing up, I had those Game Boy ports, obviously, and there was an existing website that covered those portable games, and I had some information, and I shared it with the guy that had that site, and at the time, his site was actually kind of basic, and I had all these ideas for how to improve it, so I kept sending him suggestions and information, and eventually I just asked, rather than building my own site, I said, hey, could I maybe join you and make it like a collaborative thing? And luckily he trusted me, gave me the keys, and so that was actually a team effort. So I didn't technically start the site, but it was something I helped build and helped design the visual presentation.
Well, and I love like every aspect of it, and especially, of course, the content, because I think if I recall correctly, you guys had information on Game Boy, Game Gear, and then that TigerGame.com, and then it expanded to all the Tiger handhelds.
The other guy was actually more familiar with like the Tiger handheld stuff, so that's like what he covered, and so yeah, that site would have actually been too much for one person. So I really enjoy like collaborating and just being able to bounce ideas off people. And like with this current game project, is like what's cool is people sending me suggestions of things they want to see, give me feedback. No, it's really cool being able to share something with the community. Like the website project, it was neat knowing that there's people actually visiting something that I built. And then like with this game, like seeing people like play it and seeing like photos of it running on their system, like that to me is it's really awesome to see that.
Well, I'm really excited to show off some gameplay, and Fatal Kate is actually going to give this a shot. Before we do,
Yes.
I think it's so cool that not only did you do the game, you did an instruction booklet. This instruction booklet, I saw the whole thing, but we just have like a small preview of it for tonight. We can't really go through an entire
There's a
booklet
box,
here.
too.
But there's box art, there's an instruction manual. You went all out on
this.
this.
This is insanely
man.
cool. Looks so official.
People keep asking for boxes and stuff, so I can't print it or sell it, but I'm going to share the artwork so people can print it themselves.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is, you got the front, back, side. This is so official looking. Yes, the instruction manual with the
Someone else did
skeleton.
something with the instruction manual though, so I didn't make the instruction manual, but I gave him some feedback on it.
Well, the fact that it's all here and the fact that it's all presented and you know that you accepted that sort of as a gift, I guess you could say that somebody was able to put that together, and it's very well done. You know, and it really, the quality is consistent with what you put in the game. Like, this is really, I feel like if Midway at the time had decided to make this as an official thing, they couldn't have done it any better than what you're doing.
Well, thank you.
I would have to agree with that. After I spent some time with the game, I was just in shock with how good this is, because I actually own the Ultimate MK3 arcade machine, the cabinet, played a lot, and I played your version on the Game Boy Color, and it was so ridiculously smooth, man. The animations, the way the sprites look, it's just so darn good. It's really awesome, and I'm really excited for this project. We just want to tell you, man, thanks for putting all the time into this, because this is so worth it. It's such a great game.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, partially why I just kept continuing working on it is people kept asking me to. I really wasn't anticipating taking it to a level actually resembling a game, because initially it was like
A demo.
a series of slideshows, essentially.
Wow.
It's been pushed so far. Fatal Kid, I would love it if you could fire it up and start showing it off here
Absolutely.
for us.
I could not agree with you more. We definitely need to get this started, so I'm going to work on that here. Just give me...
I sent you a Skype message with an updated version.
Oh yeah, do you have the latest one that
You
I
put
just...
it on the file serve, right? Before we started streaming, right before?
I just sent
Yeah,
a new
I
one on
did.
Skype.
I did.
Okay, yeah, that's the one. I believe that's the one he gave me, just to make sure, so we're all on the same page.
There's a newer one that says V2.
Let me make sure I got that one, because I can load it up, no problem. Let's see. Okay. No, the one I have is 2018-7/25.
That's today.
Yeah, that's...
On Skype, I sent you a message there.
Okay, let's see. Actually, Justin, can you grab that? Because if I move it, it's going to mess with the webcams. And then...
What do you need me
can
to
you just grab that real quick and then send me the link in Twitter? Because I want to make sure that we've got the latest version for everybody to see, because this is really good stuff.
Oh, okay.
Just, yeah, like, maybe see if you can pop it into the file server. I think it is the one, because I noticed a difference from the one that I got today and from the one that we just loaded up. It looks a lot different.
Tell you what, let me go to my other computer in the other room, so I'll just step away from the stream for now. I will take care of that, and I'll be right back, and we'll do
Awesome,
some gameplay.
yeah, because the game is off the chain cool, guys. And just some other things we may have missed in the PowerPoint. I'll show everybody here if I can get to it here. That's the score. It actually got a 0.0, which I thought was a little crazy myself that they go that low. That says no, the 0.0 score is not a misprint. Like, no, you're seeing it correctly. But I'll tell you what, comparing your version MK Advance, hands down, It's far superior. Far, far better. Let's see here. Instruction manual. There it is right there compared to the arcade cabinet. That's really, really cool. So lots of fun stuff. And I just want to make sure we get the latest version to show all of you. Because this game is a lot of fun. And I think you guys will thoroughly enjoy this. Let me just see if I can verify with you, Z80. Is the file size of the latest update, let's see.
Well, the file name should be the same as the previous one, but it says V2.
Okay, because I think Tabmock renamed them. But is the file size 2048K?
Oh, yes.
Okay, that's the one I have then. Because he uploaded it.
But there's two versions I sent today, and there's a...
Okay, so we'll just be safe. No worries. Because I want to show everybody, like, the absolute latest version. Because I know you've worked incredibly hard on this. Was doing the animations, was that a lot of work as well as completely redoing the sprites? Because then you had to go through each individual animation, right?
Well, part of the difficulty on the animations is because it's being resized to 50%, but there's actually different ways that Photoshop resizes it because it there's like a sub-pixel rounding thing. So making it properly aligned is one of the keys to making it look natural. So making sure that the arcade frames are aligned before down converting it is one of the keys. Also, when I animate things, I usually do it with a black silhouette to make sure like the center of gravity of the characters looks right, like they aren't like just bouncing around the screen. If you play those pirated NES or Famicom games, like that's a very common...
Yeah.
What?
So listen, guys, I am back. The file server has been refreshed. The V2 of the ROM is ready. Fatal Cade, you are free to
I've already got it loaded. We're already on it.
And how you guys? I didn't even announce it yet. Oh, look at this!
The words of written.
Now, if you look at the text there, the red to yellow is actually kind of a sophisticated hardware trick because I'm updating the palette mid-frame. Get that gradient.
Did Space Invaders on Game Boy pull off a similar trick?
Well, I think that one might use like a Super Game Boy feature or something, but updating the palette mid-frame is kind of sophisticated for the hardware. But anyway, that's just a way to get more color out of the title screen.
Smart.
I've included this screen so people can figure out some of the basic moves because there's only 2 buttons, but the arcade has 6 buttons, so the way I'm fitting in like the run of the block is by hitting a combination of buttons. So it's kind of like
right. Like if you press B and A together, it blocks.
Right.
And notice things like when you do a foot sweep, if you hold back and down at the same time, it sweeps. Which these concessions that you had to make in order to fit to accommodate the 2-button gameplay, everything feels really smooth and natural.
Oh, there's a secret menu too if you press select. Maybe we can show that.
Oh wait, you've got Johnny Cage in this version?
I haven't seen this.
This is
okay. So it's not complete. So he's not complete. I mean, we could show him, but it's only a couple frames.
Wow.
Oh, this is so cool.
So this.
That's the Chris Alexander Johnny Cage.
And you see how the portrait's colorized too.
Yeah.
It is.
I'm not hearing any audio though on the Twitch
yeah,
stream.
I can put the audio up. No problemo. I just didn't want to overpower it.
So this is just like a placeholder basically.
Yeah.
So the sprites aren't finished, but I'm going to try to implement the special moves so people can test it.
I have to admit I'm a Johnny Cage fan. That's why I had to see this.
So I noticed that when he wins, it says Johnny C wins. Are you able to have enough memory to spell out Cage all the way through?
Okay, well that's a sprite limit because there's only the text there is a sprite, and there's only there's only 10 sprites per line. So basically, there's like a limit to how wide that graphic can be. So I could either say Cage wins or Johnny C. There's just not enough space to do his full name.
Oh, okay.
Well, let's go with somebody who's complete here in Scorpion.
So you press start, that'll bring you back to the select screen. Oh, I want to mention too, the select screen, so the character roster is based on what people requested. So like Cabal, Liu Kang, those are new additions for this build.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that it crashed. So like this is this version isn't complete, but one of the new features in this is the voice samples are higher quality than they were before. I can't hear it though.
I'm trying to see if I can't. Let me see if I can maybe turn up the sound a little more. Let me see. Trying to get it as loud as I can here.
Oh, you should reset the game because it's when it crashes, it kind of glitched. Is there a way to reset?
Yeah, I'll be able to reset it. I just want to make sure I have everything up here. Yeah, we'll just reboot that.
Well, I love the way Cyrax is animated. I mean, usually you kind of have to like go cheap out on the backgrounds and maybe just have a static image for Cyrax, but you kept the animation intact.
Yeah, the arcade version actually has 4 frames of animation, but 2 of them look identical. So I could give him like an extra frame, but then it actually gets too blurry on the real system. So like little details like that. Like he has 2 frames of animation in this version, and the reason for that is just because it looks blurry if he moves too much.
Got it.
And so press select on the title screen, and you can show the secret menu.
Let's see. See if I can do it here. There we go. Oh wow. So here we go. This is the hidden menu.
Look at that.
Oh wow, this is cool. I like this. You have infinite run.
I love seeing the different options, you know, the secret menu
This
stuff.
is always so good. I know.
Right.
It's so good. They have like a bright mode.
How about turn on the boss and the hidden characters?
Yeah, right. That makes the most sense.
Awesome.
Yeah, what does computer AI do?
Well, that's just the computer opponent, because if it's off, they just stand still, so you can either practice or beat the game without fighting. So it's the secret characters, Khan's in the center, and then...
Wait, did you see it, Fatal Cade, when you hit the cursor over the dragon? Shao Kahn was...
Oh, let me see. Let me see if I can do it again. Oh, it is Shao Kahn. That is
like
so
that?
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I dig this. This is legit. This is so good.
So if you go left on Katana or right on Scorpion, there's also Rain and Noob Saibot. They don't have special moves yet, but that's how you access them.
That's cool. This is so awesome.
So is there another way to access these characters besides going into the secret menu and turning them on?
Currently, that's the only one. Well, there's also Human Smoke and then Classic Sub-Zero. So that's, you just select them, and then before the round, you hit some buttons.
Is it B, A, and back?
It's up and back and A.
Up, back, and A. Okay.
So there are actually more characters than on the select screen. Like there's Classic Sub-Zero and there's Human Smoke.
I think that's really cool how you got the Sub-Zero in there like that, because there's no official port where they triggered Classic Sub-Zero quite that way, but it's so logical, and it really seems like a move that the official Mortal Kombat team would have made.
Yeah. It's really cool.
You gotta reset it. So that this build it's more for showing off like the voice samples. If it crashes, you have to reset it because it's not going to show the port is perfect. But if you select Sub-Zero, maybe we should show them transforming.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, up, back, and A when you're Sub-Zero.
Okay, up, back, and A. I should be able to do this without screwing it up. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, the thing with Scorpion Spear, the reason why it's crashing is because it's merging with the background tiles and it's loading in too many graphics. So that's something I'm still working on fixing.
Wow, this is so cool, and I just love this.
But that spear worked okay in different versions, right?
Correct. You could show an earlier version where it works fine. I'm just saying this version's not complete, so this version will crash occasionally. But I want to show the fatality. So when the fatality for him is forward, back, forward, punch.
Oh, you gave him a spine rip, didn't you? I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
Oh, I goofed it up. Forward, back, forward, punch, right? Which would be B.
You were too close.
I gotta be kind of like sweep distance, right?
You like elbowed him, basically. It's
Yeah, people are amazed that the Game Boy can handle like the blood spatter effects the way you implemented them.
yeah. So the blood splatters are actually part of the background. So that's how it's able to be so large without flickering.
Look at all these programming tricks you got, man. That's cool.
And the stage background isn't finished either, so it's going to look better than it is currently.
Yeah, it's kind of going in and out.
But it's awesome.
The spine rip looks
It's awesome.
incredible.
That's amazing. I'm gonna buy a Game Boy Color when he's done with this, just so I can somehow get like an actual copy of this. Because this is like, are you gonna sell like a physical copy of this?
Well, no, there's no.
Well,
I'm not selling anything, but
yeah, I mean,
and print on artwork though, and they can put on cartridges.
I mean, it's possible for people to make their own, but this guy is just making
I
a
know.
free game.
I forgot all the legal terms. I got so excited seeing this, and I was like, how can I get one? How can I get this on a cartridge?
You're just thinking, shut up and take my money.
It's just so good. Like, it's something that like I would buy. Like, I would pay money for it. That's how good this is.
Yeah, I would do whatever it takes to get a copy of this.
Absolutely.
Why not? Okay, so when I played this game, this was glitchy, this background. You fixed that glitch, because I played a build where when you did the freeze, the background would sort of turn blue.
Well, that's because the blood splatter is part of the background. That's because anyway, that stage just wasn't complete. It's still not complete either. The palette's not finished. Like, it shouldn't be white.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's still in progress.
Always needs to be a little bit of fine tuning going on. But I love seeing the different builds, and I love seeing
Uppercut.
different
Uppercut him.
You know what?
Yeah, uppercut.
No,
Stage fatality.
Press start. Let's see if we can exit out of that.
Reset.
Nah.
I'll reset. Yeah.
Oh, it glitched. Maybe if you load up the previous version, that might be a better bet.
Oh yeah. Let's open up an older build, shall we?
But I can't hear I can't hear the audio though, so I don't know. Oh, well, I don't have the Twitch. Maybe that's why.
That's why.
Okay. But you guys can hear the audio
yeah.
though, right?
I'm sure the viewers can hear it fine, and like Fatal Kate, if you can hear it,
Yeah, I
we're
tried
good.
to turn it up all the way.
Yeah, people are loving it.
What about Liu Kang? Oh, I want to show you something. If you hold select and press down, like on Liu Kang, for example, or any of the characters really, but hold select and press down.
They change color.
So there's a custom palette option. So if you want to have a different colored character, that's available. So like Liu Kang, for example, like his graphics aren't complete, but I can implement that faster than trying to be perfectionistic about it. So anyway, I'm just going to implement some temporary frames like I have for Liu Kang. That way I can complete them so people can test it out, so I can get the project out there sooner.
Yeah. Let me ask you a couple questions about some of the specifics. We've seen a fatality. I've done a stage fatality in some of the builds that I've played, especially in the NetherRealm stage. What other finishing moves are in this? Are there friendships?
Well, not yet. No, it's currently just one fatality, babality, and the stage fatality. So I want to add the pit fatality, but that's not in yet. But the lava one is.
What about things like mercy? You do a mercy and an animality?
Well, not yet. But I was thinking about giving Liu Kang the dragon fatality. So That would be like the compromise. I want to feature the fatalities that are like unique. Like Knut Cybot has the Hell Hand from Mortal Kombat Trilogy from Scorpion's fatality.
Ah.
So it's like the more grandiose ones, like with the large graphics, like the dragon, like that's a very large graphic. So I'm trying to feature like the things that are visually cool.
Yeah, the exciting ones, the ones that like have that really cinematic appeal to them.
Well, so Scorpions is whole block and press down, down, up, up, for example.
Well, don't do the spear
I'm
though,
not.
Fatal K.
Yeah.
That one.
Quit doing the spear.
I will not spear.
And teleport.
Yeah, you can do a teleport punch. Look, I love the way you map the movements. They really feel, they have that arcade feel to them. I just can't quite explain it, but the movements are perfect. Like it's just like doing it on the real thing, right?
Yeah, it's really smooth, man. This feels just as good as the arcade with how it plays, man.
Look at that. Look at that, man. That's totally sweet.
Those
I
are
see
finished,
what you mean
obviously.
about the fatality choices.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And look, people can't help but compare this to the real thing and say that even though this isn't finished, this one is a cut above.
So partially I'm doing the move timings to be accurate as I'm using main and I'm frame stepping. So I get count how many frames something actually lasts. So if I didn't have the main emulator, it would have been really hard to match like the timing of everything. That's one of the keys.
Oh, yeah. I can
Babalities is down, down, down.
Okay, Babalities down, down, down. You can do Babalities?
You got a flawless victory, but I don't think it says flawless, at least at this stage.
Yeah, currently it doesn't say that.
Okay. But that's probably one of the easiest things for you to put in, right?
Yeah, it just takes time to create the graphic.
Right. Right.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Oh, it's so cool!
And is it that way for every character?
Well, the new characters, I don't have all the graphics in. Like Johnny Cage, I don't have his version in.
Okay.
So on this stage, make sure
Yeah,
you
I'm gonna
uppercut.
do the uppercut finisher for sure. There's a little bit of lag between me playing and what you're seeing, so...
Yeah, I've noticed that. Or you could...
Hey, Z80 Artist, let me ask you this. I saw the other day on a website called The Cutting Room Floor that they found Babality sprites, and I think this was an MK trilogy. They found Babality sprites for Shao Kahn, Goro, and Kintaro.
Oh yes, I've seen those.
Well, would you make it so that you can do Babalities against Shao Kahn? Is that something that you think you would play with, or not so much?
Well, I could make that like an option on the secret menu. So...
Oh, Fatalities bosses.
Because some people prefer the bosses not having finishing moves, and some people do, so that could just be an option to enable. So
You know
this
what? That's
stage,
smart.
pallette's
That's
not
a
complete.
divisive issue.
And what?
Well, that's smart because that's a very divisive issue. It's controversial. Some people want it one way, some people want it the other way, and you can appeal to everybody by making it an option.
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to include as many options as possible, while also staying as like authentic to the source material.
It's so good. Like, I'm battling against smoke right now. Is there a way to... I know there's rain and then there's Noob Saibot, but is human smoke, like, how do you pull that off? Is he, like...
The human smoke, you select Robo to place him. So select Robo Smoke. You press start, you can go back to the select screen.
Let's try it. There we go. Okay, and then...
Man, we were about to find out if there was an ending.
Oh, I think you have the custom palette selected.
I do, but it's definitely smoke.
So if you...
I don't know how to get it back, though.
Yeah, so there's a way of resetting it if you go back to the select screen.
How do I do it?
You hold select and start at the same time.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, all the codes feel very natural. They feel very organic. Like, it's exactly the way you would want to input a code into a Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah. And it feels so good.
Good. Yeah. I really want to do Smoke's in and out. I want to turn to the ball here. I can't wait until that's implemented. Yeah, Johnny Cage wasn't in Ultimate MK3. Yeah, that's true, but he's like a bonus.
Yeah. Well, one of the reasons why I'm including him as well is because he was never featured in the other Game Boy ports, like Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and even 4. He was missing.
Man, he got screwed every time, didn't he?
Yeah, so this is the first time that people can actually play as him on like a Game Boy platform. He was missing from MK Advance, even though it was advertised as being a Kombat Trilogy features. So if you load up the like a previous version of the ROM, then that may be better for playing AI. Or you could turn on the AI with the secret menu.
Let's try that. Let me do a reset here, and then try that here.
Man, that game over screen, so nostalgic. Reminds me of Mortal Kombat 3 in the arcade.
Yeah, this is insanely cool. So computer AI on.
I mean, I never got a game over, so I'm just assuming that's what it's.
Oh, this is so good. I'm getting in love with this, man. Like, even after the stream, like, I'm gonna be playing the crap out of this. It's so good.
It is, and you know what's funny is, like, I've been playing this for a long time. I was kind of, like, testing the demos for a while. But this is your first time playing it.
Oh, Cabal.
So,
Yeah, Cabal. People are asking to see him in action, so it's the only version.
Yeah,
of
let's get back there.
He's not in the.
Yeah, let's see, Cabal. Where is he? There we go. There we go.
Yeah, Cabal plays very well.
Awesome.
And
oh. Oh.
Someone is saying the audio died. I don't.
Did the audio die? I don't. It might have been a little funky. Let me pull a reset here. Actually, yeah, we'll reset it and then show a little more Cabal. I think it was just being a little glitchy.
so I think you have to turn off the AI because it looked like it crashed again.
All right, you got to do that
Computer
code again.
off. Okay, we got it off.
Well, it's off by default,
Okay.
so just start it normal, then select Cabal because I want to show some of his
absolutely.
moves. If the AI is off, it's less likely to crash because it's not as many things to process. But I don't have all of his moves in, but just kind of showcasing some of his features. So he has the fireballs and the dash.
Oh, what's the fireball? I should know this. Why don't I know the fireball? There we go.
And the frames aren't complete either, but it's still a work in
Yeah,
progress.
it looks really good. Oh man, this is cool. Does he have the ground saw?
So no, that one's not in yet. That one's like problematic.
Yeah, that's a huge strike. That's going to cause some problems. You can see it.
That would.
But like, yeah, if you juggle them with a jump kick and the air fireball, like that's a good combo.
Hang on, I gotta figure out how do I do that? Just back. Hang on. Ah! I gotta remember.
Has it been a while since
It's
you
been
played
a
his
long
Cabal?
time since I played as Cabal. Usually I only go with Smoke or Striker.
Alright guys, here's a secret. Fatal Cade actually has an Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 arcade machine in his kitchen. It's right next to the 2 arcade machine.
So
and across the way from an MK4 arcade machine. So you've got a lot of opportunities to play as Cabal.
And I haven't taken them, so Cabal fans are already mad at me. I already know this. Alright, yeah. I just pulled it off there.
Yeah, man, that's some arcade style combos right there. That speed, that's so satisfying to pull off, even in a port like this, because this is so well done.
Yeah.
Oh, people have asked if there's the button combos. So not yet, but there is like the elbow and the knee. So if you get close and hit like punch or kick, it's kind of like MK2 because it does an elbow or a knee.
Yeah, the knee.
But yeah, in the future I might be able to add the button combos. It's just those other features that I'm working on to do first.
Now, can we pause this, because I would really like to open up Mortal Kombat trivia, and we can keep playing, but I would like the viewers have a chance to win some
Absolutely, it
prizes.
is Mortal Kombat trivia time. So this is actually really good trivia. You redid this because I have a big mouth and didn't realize that you didn't actually have the new trivia set up. So you spent like literally what, like an entire 10 hours redoing all the trivia questions?
That's some insider baseball for you guys. I redid all the trivia questions now, and oh, look at that GIF that somebody put in the Discord, banging on an arcade machine. Is that actually your? That looks like your setup.
That may be. I don't think that's actually mine though. That's
Galloping Ghost.
You see MK4 after MK3, and my MK4 is in my living room.
Yeah, your MP4 is a little ways off. Oh man, that is just so perfect though. Whoever is giving us these gifts, I guess it's that Scotters 83 guy, just so good with it. Man.
It's awesome. Let me load up some trivia music for everybody. Since everybody is extremely hype, we'll get some trivia music rolling here and get this started for everybody. Since we've got the trivia going, man, I'm so excited. Nothing like some music to go with the gameplay music here. This is beyond cool, this whole thing.
Oh man, nobody remembers the name of the guy that owns that Mortal Kombat dragon statue?
Is there a photo of the original statue someplace?
Actually, yeah, Josh Sway posted it recently. As part of research for his documentary.
This is on Twitter? Or?
Yeah, he found it. He came across footage, the original footage that was, as they were filming it for the first Mortal Kombat game, he found the exact tape they went and digitized, and he shared a picture of it with everybody.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is super cool. Oh, wow. This game is just off the chain fun. I can't wait till we see like a complete version, because this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to just enjoy playing this version. It's so good. Like it's above and beyond MK Advance.
I just played MK Advance recently for some reason, and I played this, and having played them both back to back like that, I can tell you this one is definitely the winner. And yeah, it is 7, guys, for how many movesets Chameleon has access to. So I feel like I have to justify that, because a lot of people were putting in like 3 and 5, but yeah, it is 7. Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Reptile, Ermac, Rain, Smoke, and Nuke Saibot. There's your 7 right there.
Nice. Oh, it's so awesome.
These gifts, man. These gifts are on point. Look at this trivia night. I love trivia.
And I love the sound effects in this game. Like, for Game Boy, it's so good.
Well, and when you play with the second player activated, both of them can make sounds at the same time too. So that's one of the things that's special about this. So it's not just one sample at a time. In the original demo I had, if 2 players make effects, the second player cancels out the first one.
Yeah, I remember that. It was only like 1 sound effect at a time.
Yeah. This one sounds much
I
more
thought that was a hardware limitation, but somehow you got around it.
Well, yeah, it took a lot of work. It's something called audio mixing, so I'm merging the 2 waveforms, but normally that's a difficult thing because it takes up so much processing time.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's amazing that you were able to have it play both sound effects at the same time without any slowdown. Like, I know that had to take a lot of work. So you were telling me that people think that the guys who make the Game Boy ports are just lazy, but I think you also figured out that it has more to do with how much time they have, right?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of factors involved, like Mortal Kombat Advance. That was a tight deadline that they were trying to meet. And so, like, if you compare the Game Boy Mortal Kombat ports to something like Killer Instinct on Game Boy, I was talking to some of the developers, trying to understand like more of the history and background behind those versions. And like Killer Instinct, for example, that was like about a year of development time, and that was done in-house by Rare, compared to like about 6 months for the Game Boy ports. So if Killer Instinct seems like twice as good as the Game Boy version, the Game Boy Mortal Kombat, that's probably because it had like twice as much time put into it. And also, the other factor is that people are familiar with the property, because the guys that made the Game Boy MK ports, they weren't necessarily working with Midway. They were just like outsourced people. They weren't like familiar with the property. They weren't fans. So I think if people work on the projects, if they're familiar with the source material, that makes it easier for them to reach a higher level of quality. But yeah, some people have said like that maybe the original developers were lazy, but I think a lot of times it comes down to more like executive decisions rather than the programmer's fault, for example.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. And I will say this: when you started this project, I don't think there was a Nintendo DS port of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. And since then, they've actually made that. Am I right on the timing there?
Well, what year did the DS version come out?
Okay. Ultimate MK3. I don't know off the top of my head. I want to say it was very late in the game. It was 2007.
Oh, well, this project started at like late 2012.
Oh,
when I
okay.
first started dabbling in programming.
Okay. Oh, I don't think anybody has seen Brian Chart's tweet about this, about what tribe Nightwolf belongs to.
Oh. What tribe does Nightwolf belong to?
Well, I can't say. That's
Oh.
a trivia question.
I don't even know that
Oh.
one.
Yeah, it's pretty obscure. Oh, jeez. Lone Wolf
He
kills
knows it. Oh,
He got it. He figured it out.
He's
I'm curious, did you guess that based on the letters, or were you able to Google it? I really am curious if how you got that one now.
nice. I'm actually gonna load up the old version here too, if that's okay, because I really want to see the
Oh, please.
game, that's fully ready to rock. I wonder if there's a hidden menu in this one. Is there?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's really a lot of fun to see the progression, to see like an early build of this game and then see how it advances into what it becomes now. It's fun, it's, just to be part of the journey. And then, C80 Artists, you are working on, there's going to be more builds of this, right? You're going to have like another development build to show us or something, true?
Oh well, this version is not complete. The goal is to try to get like a solid playable version that doesn't crash, so people can test it. So that'd be like the next milestone that I'm working towards.
It's awesome.
So this is an older build, and the spear worked okay in this.
Well, this is the same version, I think, but it's kind of like a random situation. I think it just depends on if there's like too many things that happen at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Ah. Oh, you got me. Oh, yep, it just crashed. You know what? Maybe this isn't the right one. Let me load up the other one.
That's not the previous version.
Yeah. Okay,
Here
here
we
we go. That's my bad, guys. Blame it on me. When it doesn't work, blame it on me. This version is still a lot of fun. This is the version I was messing around with earlier today, and I gotta tell you, I loved it.
Yeah, we were playing this build before, just to test it out, make sure we have everything ready for the next week.
So you see the old character roster.
Yeah, you can see the roster is smaller.
Now, is this version available for the public or no?
This version, yeah, people want to test it out.
Yeah,
Well,
guys, at the end of the stream, I don't know if we should give this away to the trivia winner or if we should give it to everybody. But there is a link available where you can download and play this yourself if you have a Game Boy emulator.
You'll want to play this. It's awesome.
Yeah, and that actually the one you're playing now is the one you
Right.
get. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where there's a glitch in the Scorpion player backgrounds and the palette changes every time you uppercut. And if you're Sub-Zero, it turns blue if you freeze them.
Yeah, it's because his freeze is part of the background. His projectile is different than other characters. The other characters are using sprites, but his freeze move was too large, so I made it
I
part of the
love how the
background.
lighting changes
I love the
on
little
Sector's armor.
I love the tricks that you pull off to make these projectile attacks work, and the blood. Like you just trick them in saying, okay, well these aren't going to be on the sprite level; they're going to be on the background level, and then everything just kind of falls into place.
Right, yeah. So to get the most out of it, you really have to be familiar with the hardware.
He's killing me. Yeah, the AI is incredibly hard too, might I add.
Well, if you play defensively, it's actually easier to beat the AI. You just kind of wait and encounter them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the AI was pretty good. In one of the builds, I saw that Cyrax was a little off. Like, actually, there's something really funny that happened. I don't know if you were aware of this. So when Cyrax does his bomb, he can actually blow himself up on it.
Oh, I didn't
Oh,
know
you
that.
can?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. I'm sure that's something that you can easily correct in the next update, but when you make these, you know, you never know what kinds of stuff might pop up. And I thought it would be interesting for the fans to see something like that happen.
It's awesome.
So if you fight Cyrax Fatal Cage, you'll probably see
Yeah,
what I'm
actually, I
talking
did
about.
his bomb and net a couple times when I was playing as him before we started the stream, and it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, it is. No,
You
it's
might
very
even want to
satisfying.
leave that because for like a two-player mode, that would be a good. You know what I mean? Like make people think twice before they throw the bomb out there.
Yeah, that bomb's gonna hurt you if you
Yeah,
set
I
it
don't know. I
off.
kind of like it. I don't know if I'd touch it.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I mean, it's more realistic
Yeah.
that way, you know. Oh God, I get it. That he's now Scotters is giving us a picture of bugs because he's saying there's a bug in the game. Hey, why don't you get us a picture of Bugs Bunny? Huh?
Puns everywhere.
Yeah, no, I mean seriously, if we like it that much, you could just say it's not a bug, it's a feature.
Oh man, Ermac is no joke here. He's teleporting all over.
Yeah, but it's fireball.
Yeah, everything looks awesome. This background is so well done. Yeah, this is insane.
Now, I don't know if viewers are seeing the game or if they're seeing an image of Ultimate MK3
Oh.
arcade machine.
Of course, let me fix.
You got this.
There we go, fixed.
Thank you.
Oh, I hit my continues.
Yep. That
I
happened.
Love the continue music too. Great touch.
Yeah, everything is just top notch, man. From the music and the sound effects to the graphics, the way the sprites are done, to the engine themselves. It's like you got every little detail right.
Yeah. Oh, the blood looks so good too.
And I know it's a work in
Yeah,
progress.
Vortex is going to be animated in the future, so that was just a placeholder.
And even as a work in progress, you can see how this is doing quality.
Oh yeah. So is there any chance you'll ever work on something MAME, or are you gonna just stick with Game Boy and handhelds?
Something what? Like a modern platform?
Yeah, like MAME, like with the arcade versions.
We'll have another project I'm working on. It's going to be for the NES and Game Boy and Game Boy Color. So that's more what I'm focused on right now. My childhood dream was to make projects for those platforms I grew up with. So it's like I have more of an attachment to that than the modern systems.
Yeah, that's understandable, and this is really, really good.
I also really enjoy programming directly with the hardware because on modern systems you aren't really doing that. Whereas like with this, like the audio is technically, like the sample playback, that's technically considered a hack because it's not something that the hardware was designed for. So that to me is fascinating. I don't think you really like hack modern systems, whereas like with these systems, it's more like a novelty seeing something like voice samples.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. Oh wow.
So in the final build, when do you think that will be released? How long do you think you'll be working on this for?
Well, one of the things that was taking so much time was all the frames of animation, but like I said, I'm gonna just do temporary frames like the Blue Kang. So I think within a month or two, I should have like all the temporary placeholder frames implemented, and so I'm hoping to get a playable version within the next month or so. And then I'll let people spend time testing it, giving feedback, and then like I don't know exactly how long it's going to take. It's just if people enjoy it and they want to see it like revised and polished more, I can always see how far I can take it. Like that to me is the fascinating thing. Like seeing like what is the maximum potential here.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy to see what you're gonna be able to do when you get it complete. I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I would love it if you would go and make an NES version, because I'll be honest, I have like every Mortal Kombat port released for those 8-bit systems, like the NES and the Famicom by the Pirates. But I have a feeling that if you were to get in there, you could really take it to the next level.
Well, yeah, the only thing that kind of held me back from that is the NES has a more limited color palette, so I was worried it was going to look inferior to this version.
Yeah.
And the major limitation, too, on both those systems is how much graphical data can be updated each frame. So, like for a fighting game, there's a lot of frames of animation that need to be like loaded into the video buffer. And so that's one of the difficulties on the NES. And then you also need like a large ROM size for a decent fighting game. So like on the Game Boy version, originally I was using 1 megabyte, but the recent version is 2 megabytes. That way I can feature more characters and more voice samples. But on the NES, it's pretty much restricted to half of a megabyte. And I want it to be playable on flash cartridges, and apparently there's no flash cartridges for the NES that are over half a megabyte. So that's another limitation.
Wow, yeah, you're right. You just got a lot of strikes against it, huh?
But yeah, it'd definitely be cool to see like a quality fighting game on the NES. That'd be nice. For me, one of the things, like the first step for me is I have to really like the visual presentation, and I haven't figured out a good way to make a game like this work on the NES, make it look good visually. So, if someone else wants to attempt something like that, I'd be happy to give them ideas or look at it and whatnot.
Yeah. I'd just love to see a Mortal Kombat 1 on NES, like, look kind of like this, you know, like...
Well, it would definitely be possible for it to have a decent frame rate. It's just there's different ways to visually present things, so I don't know what the best approach would be for that. Like for example, you could make the sprites more detailed by overlaying them, but then you're dealing with more flicker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's trade-offs to the different visual approaches.
Right. You can never have the complete freedom to display as many sprites as you want at all times.
It's just cool how all these years later with technology and software updates with Photoshop and, you know, like what you're able to achieve now. You know what I mean? This would have been, if a developer saw this back then, you know, Z80 Artist wouldn't even be talking to us. He'd be a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
You'd have gotten the job and put all the other developers out of business.
By yourself.
Well, honestly, if someone hired me to make a project like this, part of the problem would be the development time, because like I don't know how fast I could put something together. Like that's one of the difficulties. Because the thing is, the more ambitious you are with the engine, then the more things can go wrong with it, then the longer it takes to get it all working properly. Right. So in a way, it makes sense like not to be overly ambitious, not to have tons of voice samples, because everything you implement is just one more thing that you have to test to make sure that it's actually working.
Right.
So it's not really like a bad strategy per se to not be striving for such a high level, for example. Like I think they were just trying to get something that worked, that they could ship, that they could bring to market. They weren't like looking to make like some kind of artistic achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, but I do feel like you can make a commercially successful game by riding on the popularity of Mortal Kombat, but to make a game that 10, 15, 20 years later people will still talk about and it still is considered of the highest quality, that's what the Mortal Kombat title did originally. That's what the arcade title did. And it would be nice if the Game Boy developers and, the people who make all the ports really approached it from that angle and not just tried to turn a profit this fiscal year or whatever, but really tried to make something that would stand the test of time.
Right, yeah, like that's one of my hopes of this project is that it's like it will be considered like a part of like the must-play games, like a list of must-play games, whatever, must-play titles.
Yeah, I see.
Like usually with a system, like there's certain games, like on the NES, like you pretty much have to experience like the Mario series, the Zelda series. So
yeah.
Anyway, if I could create something that's considered like one of the main titles, like that would be pretty cool.
I mean, this is definitely an achievement, no matter what.
Yeah, this is awesome.
And I get it that it's a work in progress, and there's still you still have to fill in a couple blanks. But what you've done is just so far and above beyond the way it was approached by the official port developers. It's just incredible. I mean, the programming, the graphics, the sound, just every aspect of it from start to finish. So tell us about some of the things that you've got planned for your next build, please.
Oh, the next build. Well, so this version, the thing I recently finalized is the audio playback. So the voice samples, the special effects, I think that part's finalized in terms of how I'm converting them. So like the quality, the fidelity, that's like the maximum potential. The music engine eventually, I think, is going to have to be rewritten. Like not the music itself, but the music playback, because currently it's actually using someone else's playback routine, which isn't as efficient as it needs to be. I think the character roster is finished. The main thing is just adding those frames so people can test it. So the main goal right now is just adding those remaining frames and getting the engine stabilized so it's solid and doesn't glitch, and it can be tested. And then revamping the AI, that's on the to-do list. And also there's like minor visual touches like the enhancing the backgrounds. Like on this the bridge stage you're on currently, the sunset area is only using one palette, but I could use more. I could make it more detailed. So there's definitely ways to visually enhance things. So I'm hoping the next version is gonna sound better, it's gonna look better.
But it looks good. It's awesome.
And you said you had some stuff planned, I think, for a Super Game Boy border.
Oh, well, that's already implemented in this version. But this emulator, I don't think features it. But yeah, the version I sent today has the Super Game Boy border working.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I see. Fatal Fate's got that one. I haven't had a chance to get my hands into that one yet. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I was a fan of the Super Game Boy ever since the first release. That's why I got the equivalent on the Nintendo 64. This one, the Wide Boy Advance. It's pretty hard to get. I just love the idea of taking the portable, the handheld systems, and playing them on your TV. And I just think that taking advantage of that hardware and what it has to offer that makes it unique. I'm just so glad that you didn't ignore that you implemented that as well. And you're going to do stuff with 2-player as well, right?
Well, yeah, the 2 players implemented if you use the Super Game Boy features, which you can do that on emulators. So even there's some emulators where even in Game Boy Color mode, you can still use the Super Game Boy features. So the 2 players should work like online as well with emulators. The link cable I haven't really had time to test yet, but eventually I want to implement that feature as well.
And see, in order to test it out for you, I think I'm gonna have to get 2 flash cards, and because I have a link cable and I can hook one up to a Super Game Boy and one up to the Wide Boy Advance, I think, or maybe an actual Game Boy system, and as long as both systems have the game in them, I could test out 2-player and see how it works.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, one of the things that takes time to the project is just that time factor that it takes to like load something up and then make sure it's not crashing. So it's like all these little details are what makes it take so much time.
But man, it looks good. Shao Kahn is just as tough to beat.
Oh yeah, one thing I need to implement on him is he's going to have more voice samples. Currently he laughs, but he doesn't do like the taunts. So there's going to be a lot more speech from him.
He's tough. See if I can hit any of my... Ah!
See if you can do the teleport right into the sphere.
I'm trying to... Yeah, I should be able to.
Trying to get a flawless on Shao Kahn.
Oh, missed it.
Bill Shiz is now following. Hey, thanks for the follow, dude.
Awesome. Always appreciate those follows. Oh, dude, this is... I really want to try to get this combo that I can do on the arcade machine. And I know most serious MK players are going to laugh at me, but I can pop them in the air, I can kick them, and then once I get the kick off, I can teleport uppercut, get a high punch, and spear him, and then uppercut.
Such a satisfying move to pull off, and I think that works against Shao Kahn because of he's a boss and he's bigger, so the hitboxes are a little different.
Well, I can do it in the arcade to anybody.
Oh man.
Oh, it's just shy. But in this, I might only be able to do it.
You'll never hit me.
You know what? We'll see. Kombat Con. We'll see. We're gonna have a little. We're gonna have to stream a match between you and me. Get a revenge match going in there. I still feel salty about your Shang Tsung. So.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. That Shang Tsung makes everybody mad. In fact, I was just seeing people talk about him today, saying that if you know all the morphs, Shang Tsung is the best person to pick.
Yeah.
I don't where I saw that, but it's like, man, people know. They know, because if you do that, you have access to every move in the game. Hey, how hard was it to program Shang Tsung's morph system?
Oh, he doesn't morph yet in this version. That's one of the things that I still need to implement, but that's going to be difficult because there's so few buttons. So I don't know the best way to do that. Like I might have to use like the select button.
Oh, I mean, I'll work with you on that. I don't think you'll need the select button. I really don't, because like, there's a way to do it. We just have to...
I'm sure people will offer like suggestions for like move inputs, so I'll just like do what people think works best.
Yeah, there's a good sense of like what has that authentic feel to it.
Oh, I love that.
All right, I want to do a top 10. I want to see how this is going. I think Lone Wolf Productions is.
Oh, I just
from.
did it.
Yep, you got it, dude.
I just did the combo.
Feels good, man.
It does. Let's see where we're at right now. Let me take a quick overview of where we are.
And guys, I know some of you are frustrated because you swear you're putting in the answer and you're getting it through first, but then it seems like the bot is receiving it first from somebody else. I think that just has to do with your connection, and you gotta call your ISP and tell them you want a faster connection so you can win Mortal Kombat Online's trivia night.
Oh, how did I see the top 10 last time? Here we go. Yeah, it's all the way at the bottom. Okay, so yeah, Lone Wolf's killing it, man. He's got 47 questions correct. And in second place, we've got Shinox, who has been extremely hardcore as well on our stream. So,
Yes.
still got a lot of questions to go, I think, don't we?
There's a lot in there. Oh, hey, Lord Rogers is now following. Thank you for the follow, dude.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to let it run all the way through or maybe we're going to save some for the next stream. What do you think?
Yeah, it's up to you. We can end it now if you'd like, and then we can go ahead and see if anybody can unlock the Ultimate Combat Code. By the way, today, we're giving each winner, first and second place, extra spins. So we're going to give first place 3 extra spins, and second place 3 extra spins as well. So everyone's going to get a total of 3 spins instead of 1 to try to win the giveaway item, which is the signed Richard Epcar Raiden hat.
Wow, look at that thing.
And of course, an Injustice 2 baseball hat. So,
You know, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I think the 1 spin from before, it's just the odds of winning are too low. We got to pick it up a little bit and get some prizes out.
I agree. And actually, if you want to, are we allowed to show the leaderboard?
Of course.
Because we have,
Of course we're on
we have one
leaderboard.
winner. Geronimo is the only guy who was able to win so far. But he managed to get up there. So whoever wins that prize gets their name on that leaderboard as well. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Mad bragging rights, for sure. So, cool stuff.
All right. Why don't we shut down the trivia and start doing the jackpot and get to some of these giveaways, huh?
Let's do it, I agree. So, we'll go ahead and do that. Let's take a look here. Who do you think, if there's a winner, who do you think it's going to be? We have Lone Wolf or we've got Shinox?
It's so hard, even with just 1 spin. Now you're making it up to 3. And it's possible they'd both be winners, isn't it?
It sure is.
Well, yeah, there's no rule saying you both can't be a winner. Let's have them do the spin. Who's up first? I guess that would be Lone Wolf, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so Lone Wolf, if you type exclamation mark.
Not yet.
Nope, not yet.
Hang on.
Too early.
We gotta get it loaded in here. Okay,
All right.
now we're good. If Lone Wolf, I love that gift, man. Who's responsible for that one? I almost wanna give them something because that's nice.
Time for the spin. Yeah.
All right. So if he hits exclamation point spin, we'll be ready to unlock the Ultimate Combat Code, or try.
And somebody said for the stream, it's hooked right into Lone Wolf's veins.
Yeah.
Cracks me up.
Okay, so he used his first spin, no look, no go. Let's try again.
All right. Does he have to type it in again, or is it automatic?
Yep, just type it in again.
Okay. Yeah, Judgment Fist. You'll get it next time. Everybody, you just got to call your ISP and tell them you need the fastest internet they offer.
Okay, Lone Wolf.
If you pay-
he spins, we're ready to rock and roll.
Oh, did he just do it?
No, I didn't see him yet. Let me see. I can't see it. He's gonna have to do it again.
Okay.
You know, this looks so fitting with the combat code reel there with the game. Game
Yeah.
over, and then
MK3 portal right there. It really
So
does
good.
fit quite well.
yeah.
Alright, so cool. Somehow the things got out of sync. You gotta hit exclamation mark spin again for some reason. Oh, what is this gift now? What is this here?
Somebody's internet. speeds.
Someone's doing speedtest.net. Oh man, these guys.
We just need Lone Wolf to hit exclamation point spin one more time.
You know what? I'm gonna see if I can trigger him because I want to speed it up. Okay.
Let's see if this works. Oh, it worked. Oh, he didn't get it. All right, you gonna spin his last one, Tab Mock? See if we can do it.
Yeah.
All right.
I think when our stream
Oh, no luck.
flickered out for a second, I think he. Oh, there he goes.
Okay, yeah, he's got to spin. So no luck for Lone Wolf, unfortunately. But we've got Shinox. Shinox, who's up.
Oh yes, Jinox. It is now your turn.
3 spins for Lone Wolf and no luck. We'll see if Shinox can step up. He gets an equal 3 spins here.
I'm glad you bumped it up to 3. Like I said, I think that really gives people more chances to win something.
I want you guys to win. I'm tired of all this stuff sitting in my studio.
Yeah, Richard Epgar went out of his way to sign these hats and get them over to us so that we can give them out as prizes. So I think that's what's up.
Yeah, and it's actually my internet, and my internet's 100 up and 50 down. No wait, it's 100 down and 50 up. Sorry.
That sounds right. Yeah, the down's always faster than the up.
Yeah, but that's...
You see, guys, there's 2 sides to every short. There's an upside and a downside.
Right. So I'm actually the one running everything off my computer. So
yeah.
OBS just tends to have a mind of its own when there's so many assets kind of thrown at it at the same time, which is why things kind of go off, but we get them right back up as soon as they go down.
Yeah, that's true. We're very fast.
It's something that we just start living with until we completely figure it out. But you know, I upgraded the RAM. I think I got some massive RAM in my computer running on a GTX 1080 Ti and a KB Lake processor by Intel. So it's all pretty good. But I think it all just comes down to software with how much assets that we're like throwing in to OBS for sure. But I did talk to Anthony from the Book of Remembrance, and he's actually willing to maybe do something for us overlay wise to kind of give us a fresh look, which I am all about. So that would be a lot less assets for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do this. While we wait for Shinox to come back, and before we do the final spin. Oh, is the trivia music still playing?
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe we should turn it off for a minute. Let's pause the trivia, because here's what I would like to do.
Okay.
There is another project out there that Z80 Artist is working on.
Oh yes, of course. We can't not show that. That's awesome.
Do you have that video loaded? It's kind of too long, but maybe you can skim and show us like the cool parts.
Yeah, give me 1 second to try to load this video, and I'm just gonna load it per diem because sadly I forgot. It's on me. Forgot. But let's see. Let's see if I can't load this up and in to here. Actually, you know what? I might be able to do it this way. Let me see. Everybody should definitely see this. It's so cool.
In the meantime, Z80, I think you'll get a kick out of this. You ever seen a watch like that?
No. Is that like a recent thing, or is that retro, or what is that?
Oh, man, I don't know. That's a good question. I just ordered it. I don't know if it's new, old. I don't know how long they've been making these. I don't even know if it's official. Just thought it looked awesome.
Let me see.
Very fitting for tonight's stream.
Yeah, I'll try to reload, try to re-download this here because I haven't. Oh, hang on, let me see here because I want to try to save this. Oh, it is in there. Okay, well, silly me. Okay. Just work with this here and properties. It should be.
So this video is at a retro gaming convention in Portland, Oregon. So the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. This was last year, 2017, and it was at a kiosk that they had on display. I had my project on the cartridge, so I asked them if I could plug it in.
Oh, that looks so funny with the overlay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh, it's a tech demo I was building.
So it's a work in progress.
Are you building that?
But
Yeah,
it's more
it's
like a
like a
proof of
Mode 7
concept.
engine. Yeah, you're welcome to check it out.
But this is Mario Kart running on a Game
Right, so it's going to be like a Mode 7 experience for the NES and Game Boy.
Oh, hey, can you turn down the volume a bit on this video?
Yeah, I got it. I'm on it. I saw everybody.
Can it flip horizontally or no?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something you can do in OBS easily, but it looks like it's been flipped.
There we go. Done.
Okay, nice.
Sweet.
Very nice. Dude, I think this is the coolest thing. Z80, do you have one of those Game Boy units in your house?
Oh, no, this was owned by the convention, but I thought it'd be cool to plug in the cartridge and to see how it looked.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. I always used to see these at Toys R Us.
Yeah, exactly.
Shame
They're
they went
apparently
up.
like $1,000, several $1,000s or something, so it's not really a practical thing for me to own.
Yeah, but it's still super cool, and that's Mario Kart that you made, right?
Oh, well, yeah, it's not like a finished game or anything. It's just like I said, a proof of concept to show that like a 3D Mode 7 movement would be possible at a fast frame rate. So one of the ways that this is possible is when I was working on the Ultimate MK3 project, I developed a way of a fast loading in the graphics. And so normally that's the major limitation. On the Game Boy, you only load in like half a tile worth of graphics per line, but I can load in a full tile. So that's enough where I can upload the entire floor Mode 7 layer all in one screen or one frame. So there's no screen tearing.
Yeah.
So it's a smoother frame rate than would be possible normally.
That is so cool.
I love how you figured out all these tricks. So
awesome.
So working on the Ultimate MK3 project helped you figure out how to fine-tune this one and develop something.
Absolutely. That was like the door that led to this, because when I was working on Ultimate MK3, I implemented the simultaneous audio sample playback, the audio mixing, but that required so much processing time. I needed to figure out a way of freeing up time, and that's how I developed and that was the inspiration for developing the fast tile loads. And so no other game loads in the graphics as fast as this. And then when I got that working, I thought, oh, I should really use this on another project. And I've been wanting to do a 3D project for a while, so it seemed like a Mode 7 kind of game would be the most unique thing that would have the best frame rate and that would be the most enjoyable kind of gameplay experience. There's other people that are working on raycasting engines, though, like for the NES, but there's like no like realistic way that it could match the frame rate of a project like this. So I think the final version of this project should be, the Mode 7 project should be about 20 FPS. On Game Boy Color, it would be 30 FPS.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I ever realized how much more powerful the Game Boy was compared to the NES until I started talking to you and you started explaining what the limitations are. And that's what I like about, that's one thing I like about talking to you. Not only do we learn more about your project and about some of the work that you did, but you're also sharing some insight into the systems themselves and how they work. So that's really cool.
Well, yeah, I always, growing up, I always assumed that they were the same, but they have different processors, and there's like a lot of different like nuances to them. So in some ways, the Game Boy is inferior, but in some ways it has certain advantages, like updating the video graphic memory is easier on the Game Boy than it is on the NES, because you can do things mid-frame on Game Boy where you can't really do it on the NES.
Wow, that's so cool.
Okay, you know those are two different users, right? The Shinox with a K and the Shinox without a K, they're different.
I know, but I'm kind of wondering if Shinox is just trolling and made a second account and then just trying to, you know.
Now, I've known both of them for years. I always thought it was funny that they're both, you didn't see too many Shinox fans, but those two have stuck it out. They've been Shinox fans for years.
They are different people. Well,
yes, this is not some guy trolling you and saying that's not me. They really are two different guys.
I'll learn something new every day about the community.
Okay, so Shinox XC, that's how I say his name. He probably pronounced it differently, but the one with the Shinox XC, he's got the Mortal Kombat 3 movie site. And Shinox without X, right? The other one, the guy that won the trivia, he's the guy that does a lot of these Mugen edits. Like he did this Ninja Mugen game.
Oh, okay. Wow. So he could be
Yeah.
somebody that we could potentially have on sometime too.
Yeah, I don't see why not. It's too bad he disappeared because he was supposed to do his spins.
You know what? We can move on. We can move on if he doesn't come back here.
Yeah, you know what? We can save his spins for when he does come back. How about that?
Yeah.
Like on our next week's stream, we'll just open his jackpot up at the beginning.
Yeah. So we'll just like have 2 winners and then Shinox. We'll get a chance on the next stream.
This guy. Nobody can say my old name. It's Shinox. It's now my spin.
Trying to pull a fast one, man. Let's see though. Let's see who's the runner-up then. Whoever's in 3rd place will take over. So Shinox was 9. Let's see. We had 2 people for 7. CMM and Stiffrig. And both of them had 7. So is one of them not here, or are they both here? Because if they're both here, we should run one more trivia question to see maybe who answers it first, and then we have a winner.
Let me think about that. Well, I don't think we would have to run it through the bot, so I think I just have to ask it, and then whoever's name pops up first.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. No, I used to have like a really good trivia question. Okay. Now I gotta think about what the answer is.
Let me make sure they're both still in the Twitch chat too.
Yeah. Please check into that for me. I'm gonna work it out. I'm gonna work it out and make sure I understand. I can explain this.
Stiffrig is here, but CMNM is not. So I guess we'll just give it to Stiffrig.
Yeah, but you only have one chance to get this right.
Well, I mean, the other guy, he's not here though, so it's like.
All right. I'm ready. And Fadocade, this is not something that we've ever discussed, so I don't think you would know the answer to this question off the top of your head.
Okay.
All right. We're going to give you Stiffrig, right?
Yeah.
Stiffrig, you're here now. Okay, good. I can see you in the chat, so I know you're available. You've got 30 seconds. How many characters in Mortal Kombat have actually used the phrase "get over here" in game?
Ooh,
You've got one chance. You got one chance, so don't guess like, oh, it's 1, it's 2, it's 3, so don't do that. You got one chance to get it right. You got 30 seconds. How many characters in Mortal Kombat use the phrase "get over here"?
He says 4.
That's incorrect. Okay, so I will say that it's 8, and I'm going to give them to you. In Mortal Kombat 1 alone, you've got Scorpion, Reptile, and Shang Tsung.
Oh, that's such a trick question.
In Mortal Kombat 2, they add Smoke and Noob Saibot. And then you've also got Chameleon in Mortal Kombat Trilogy. You've got Shinnok in Mortal Kombat 4. And finally, you've got Shujinko in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, you asked a Shujinko question.
He goes, "Get over here." He doesn't sound like Scorpion when he does it. So, 8. There's actually 8 characters that say "get over here" in Mortal Kombat. You know what? And I always wanted to have that as like a tiebreaker question in case that situation ever came up, and that was tonight.
Gosh.
Shinnok. Okay, Judge this is asking, when does Shinnok ever use it? It's in Mortal Kombat 4. Shinnok does impersonations of other characters.
So when he does it, yeah.
Yeah, so when he does his Scorpion impersonation and he does it, they pull the sound for him.
Yeah. Because you can hear him yell it. And I think it's actually Scorpion's voice.
They just pull Scorpion's voice sample. Yeah.
Yeah. But so do we let Stiffer get the spins?
No, because he didn't get the trivia question right. But we've got something just as good, and this is going to be a prize for everybody. We are going to give out the address for you to download Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 on Game Boy Color.
There you go.
Fatal Cade, I know you have that ready. If you can display it on the window there.
Let's see. I believe it's in the slides, right?
Yep, it is. It's the final, in the list of images I sent, it's the final one.
There it is. I like how you made it look all like Noob DE. That website.
Oh, yeah.
It's got the same like black background and bright words. It's just cool.
You know, the H gets cut off a little bit by our overlay, but that's fine. You guys,
I can fix that.
You know, you don't even need to type HTTP. You know how URL works. And I'll link. I'll type it in the channel too, so that you.
It's fixed. Got it.
Oh man, look at that! On the fly, just rearranging things and making them look nice. Thank you.
I'm trying.
But I made it a link too, so if you're in the chat, you can just click on it and get it.
There you go.
So there it is, guys. You've had a chance to watch this Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 Game Boy project in action. You've seen different revisions of it. You've seen a future version that's not quite fit for public consumption just yet. And you've got one that is fully playable and doesn't crash. You've got a nice, stable release here. That's for you all to download. Thank you very much for enjoying us. Fatal Cade, is there anything else that we should say as we wrap things up?
I don't know. Do we have any idea of who our next guest is going to be?
Well, I don't think we're ready to announce that just yet. So
yeah, but do you and I maybe have a clue?
Or maybe we don't. Who's to say? We don't know what's going to happen. So let's do this. Fatal Cade, I would like you to give our social media links in the channel if you could. Thank you for joining us here on Twitch tonight, guys. It's been an absolute blast. I would really like you to follow us on Twitter or Facebook if you don't already. Those are some of the big sites. And, of course, sign up for us at MortalKombatOnline.com. Join our discussion board. See the news posts. That is a really cool site that you want to be a part of. So you can go ahead and put in the social media links for us before we wrap things up. I think that would be awesome.
Yep, I'm doing that right now.
I'll even join in and put the Twitter one here. In fact, next time I'll probably have these ready so I can just copy and paste them. But here we go, guys. That is it. That is our website. That is our Twitter. Fatal Cade is going to link to our Facebook, so make sure you're following us on all these, and of course here on Twitch. Thank you again for joining us, and guys, we will see you next time.
Yeah,
take it easy.
We'll see you next time, guys. Take it easy. It was a lot of fun, and we're going to have a lot more surprises in store for the next one, so stay tuned, and we'll see you very, very soon. Take care.